Well, welcome everybody. We are so grateful that you have joined us or will be watching this by video in the future. This is our Working Genius for Marriages webinar, something that we've been working on now for uh, a little while. We've done some beta testing and we are really excited about the results that we've received. And hopefully, you'll find it very rewarding, very encouraging, something very much worth your time. So much has been going on with Langley Leadership Group and Christian Life School of Theology Global. We're thankful for the increase in our ability to just influence and impact the hearts and lives of people all over the world. We are in our third cohort of the Master of Executive Leadership degree program. So some of you are students in that, and if you're interested in getting more information, you can reach out to us and we'll help you assist you with that. But today in particular, we have something for marriages that Lori and I discovered was really, I don't think it's a stretch to say revolutionary in many ways.
Mhm.
After having been married 45 years, you feel like you've heard a lot, read a lot, but marriage is a continual growth experience and adding value and strengthening and partnering together. So the Working Genius framework was pretty much launched as a business resource, an organizational resource to help strengthen teams and create better collaboration and higher return on your work environment. It's the art and science of how work gets done, really. And then one day it
Yeah.
just dawned on me, hey, wait a minute, marriages are a work in progress also. And, we have this uh, thing where marriage is love and marriage is companionship, and all that's true. But also, marriages have purpose. Marriages thrive when they're a husband and wife are working together and accomplishing a vision for their marriage. And those are projects. That's the work that we do together. So we have put this together in a new way, a new manner, and that's what we want to share with you today. You can see the pretty face on our screen today is my wife, Lori, who is our resident Working Genius facilitator. She's a certified Working Genius facilitator. She spent many, many hours in study and preparation for what she does, working with the businesses and organizations and families that reach out to us for this resource. And this is for marriage in particular, we believe is going to grow and really also be another avenue of tremendous value to the people that work with us. So she's got a lot to say. I want to kind of get out of her way today and let her lead this conversation. So I'm just going to pitch it over to you, Lori, and welcome the people. And let's just get rolling today because I know we have a lot of good content that we want to share.
Yes, we do. Thanks, honey. Wow, I really am excited about this opportunity to talk about working genius for married couples. Like you were telling the group, honey, it's been something that's been transformative, is the right word. It's been such a blessing for us. And as you and I talked about it, we feel like we've put together some benefits that each couple can receive and be a part of their marriage as they engage with Working Genius. So that's what we're going to do. I've got some graphics to show you. I've got some information to share with you. So take notes if you want to, and you can always come back and watch this when we post it later as well. But Working Genius is a framework for how work gets done. Now, this first few minutes, I've got maybe 3 or 4 minutes planned just to talk about the framework of Working Genius. Because without that, if you now a lot of people that are on today or that will watch this, they know something. Either they watched our last one, which was how Working Genius can help you have better meetings, or they've had exposure to the podcast that Working Genius puts out. They've seen information on our website, whatever. So Um, you may already know, but there are other people that are going to be exposed or are on today that don't know. So I need to give you just a brief overview. So let's look at the six types of working genius. The first one is the genius of wonder. So I think we have that as a graphic. Um, maybe we're having technical difficulties. Let me just talk to you about it, and if she can get it on, that's fine.
It's up, Lori.
Oh, good. I don't know why I'm
We,
not seeing it
yeah,
then.
we don't see it.
Okay, let's.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. If it's up, that's what matters. The six types of working genius. Everybody has two geniuses, and the others fall either in a competency category or in a working frustration category. Okay, so the first one is the genius of wonder. And wonder is the person who literally gets joy and fulfillment out of pondering and thinking and speculating. You can see it there at the beginning of this where the cogs work together. Wonder is the first genius in the process of work. And these people help identify the need for improvement or the need for change. Randall has this, so if you know him or you want to put a name on that, he's one of the people that I know that have the genius of wonder. Um, Members of our team have the genius of wonder. I don't have it, and it's very much sometimes it's so needed, and it is where the work starts. But sometimes people with the genius of wonder, if you don't have it, you think their head's in the clouds, or they all they do is sit around and think about things. Well, they do, and they help identify the need for improvement or change. And it's something that they love to do, and it brings them joy and energy. All right. The next one, the next cog that you see is the invention genius. Randall also has this one. And they love to take what the wanderer is thinking about, pondering about, and come up with ideas. They confirm the importance of that need and they generate ideas and solutions. And they love to do it. They love to go to a blank whiteboard and just come up with ideas. So this is the invention genius. The next one is the discernment genius. Again, every person has two, and that's part of what working genius will help you identify which two are mine and how do I best contribute in the process of work. And conversely, what is hard for me in the process of work, what is not as natural in the process of work. So discernment is the genius that will take what wonder and invention have come up with, specifically the invention genius, and they have a gut level knowing. They just have an innate sense of knowing whether something will work or not, whether parts of it are of an idea that an invention genius comes up with are positive and workable, but then maybe parts of it are not. They're responding to the ideas of the invention genius person. All right. That's what discernment does. And they sometimes can be perceived like a Debbie Downer or like they're doubters, they're not on board. But really we need to embrace this genius for what it is. It helps us to refine and hone ideas before they get implemented. All right. The next genius is the genius of galvanizing. And I know I'm moving kind of quickly, but I just want to at least give you a little bit. Galvanizers then, they take what's come down the work pipeline from the wonder, invention, and discernment, and they say, okay, that's it. They love to rally human capital. They like to get people moving. They want to help people start the ball down the court and begin to implement ideas that and processes that need to take place so that the work can get done. Galvanizers are sometimes loud and disruptive and they don't mind, sort of holding you accountable but they it brings them joy and energy to really help in the work process in this way. The next one is enablement. So you see the E there. That happens to be one of mine. And as an enablement genius, we like to come alongside the team as a whole, specifically usually the galvanizer, and say, what can I do to help? It literally brings me and the people like me joy and energy to come alongside and help in whatever needs to be done. Sometimes we see ourselves as yes men or people pleasers, or we just want to, do what everybody else wants to do. But the truth of the matter is, without enablement genius, the work does not get going. It does not get, the bulk of the work happens in enablement and tenacity. So we're very much needed, and it's very powerful to have the enablement genius on a team and in a marriage, like we're talking about today. And then tenacity is the last one. It's the sixth one, and I have that one as well. And the tenacity genius, we love to ensure that the idea, the commitment of the team, the plan, the project, the thing in our families, the family vacation, whatever we're planning, gets done and gets done in the way that we had originally planned for it to get done and set out to achieve. So that's what a tenacity genius does. We're list makers. We love to check off our list. We love to drive to completion. That's what tenacity genius does.
Get it across the finish line.
Get it across the finish line. That's right. So that's the basic idea, and I am doing pretty good. I hope I didn't rush through that too much.
You
But
you
Randall,
didn't. That's good, Lori. And I also want to interject here again. The definition of genius is not necessarily what you do or what you have to do, but it's what brings you joy and energy. And the reason that this is so powerful in a marriage is because when you're working on things in your marriage, there are certain things that need to get done. But if you can identify the strengths of your spouse and lean into what brings them joy and energy, then you can really level up I want to say, the fulfillment and the joy
yes,
in accomplishing things together. So
yes,
I know we want to cover specifically three things today, but
yes.
that really empowers people, and you're going to hear some testimonies about that as well.
That's right. So every couple works together at home, managing family projects. They work together with the children if they're planning a trip or a vacation. There's things that we all do as a married couple working together. And if your geniuses differ, which like yours and mine, Randall, and most
Mhm.
people's differ at least in some ways. If you differ, we each will benefit from being able to see how the other person looks at this type of work and activity in the marriage. So today we promised you three benefits. There's many more, but we wanted to identify and highlight three benefits in this webinar today that you can experience. Three benefits we're going to talk about today that you can experience in your marriage. Working Genius will help you first communicate better. You see it there. Secondly, serve each other more effectively. And lastly, today, Working Genius will help you grow together in unity. All
Yes.
right, are you ready? Let's dive into this first one. Through Working Genius, you will understand how your God-given gifts and those of your spouse, and it'll help you how you know how to work together and how to communicate better. I love this. I love this graphic that we've got. Working Genius will help you know how to communicate better. All right. It helps you understand yourself and your spouse. That's where the communication getting better starts. It helps you understand each other better. What gives your spouse joy and energy? What makes them fulfilled in the process of work? And on the opposite side of that, what drains them in the process of work? Working Genius gives you language around these things so that you can
Yes.
communicate better in the process of work at home. It's been very transformative for Randall and I, for me to know he's got wonder and invention as his geniuses and how he looks at work from that vantage point. It's just his default. Not that he won't look at it from mine, but I have to sort of help him in that, and he has to help me in his. So it gives us language and it makes communication clearer. It will make your marriage stronger. One
Yes.
of the main concerns, Randall, I remember when we were young and newly married, was our communication was really, really rough. And my closest girlfriend would say to me, "Man, your communication concerns me." But so the thing that Working Genius has done for us is given us better communication, and it's made our marriage stronger. We can see it. And like Randall said in his opening, even 40 years in, when I grabbed a hold of this I heard it on a podcast that I had subscribed to. I heard Pat Lencioni, he's the head of the Table Group and the founder of Working Genius. I heard him share about it. So it's been about 5 years that Randall and I have been engaging with this. But marriage as a mutual partnership is an ongoing strategy and it's an ongoing reality,
Yeah.
right? It's the way it is. So don't fight against you being companions and partners in marriage. It's about companionship. It's about collaboration. And for us, Randall, this is a word that we're really, I don't know, giving a lot of space to in our own lives, this word collaboration.
Right.
And marriage is absolutely a collaboration. And if you can communicate better, it's going to make your collaboration more powerful and more strong. And that is what the benefit you will get out of Working Genius is it will help you to communicate better. I want to read this quote, Randall, that you gave us. It says, collaboration helps you move along the pathway of purpose and fulfillment in your marriage. Collaboration helps you move along the pathway of purpose and the pathway of fulfillment in your marriage. So, clear communication is vital to a strong marriage, and it's how the two of you get things done and accomplish your goals is done intentionally. And you do this best when you lean into the process of work. So Working Genius will help you do that. Now, like Randall said, I've gotten some testimonies from different couples, one at least one for each of these that I'm going to share these benefits that I'm going to share today. And Carrie and Kylie from Nebraska, he shared great, they've been married, I don't know exactly how long they've been married, but he shared great feedback with us about how Working Genius helps them complement each other across their life together. That's the way he put it. And I really liked that language. Their geniuses are different, which is a good thing as long as they know how, as we as a couple know how our geniuses show up in the marriage. So it's a good thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing to have different geniuses, but when you do understand these different geniuses become a strength in your marriage and how you communicate. Kylie states, even though we complement each other, friction can arise if we don't understand these geniuses. So I just want to thank them for that input and just to say, look, Working Genius brings a synergy that serves you. It brings a synergy that serves you in communicating better in your marriage.
Hmm.
And Randall and I are absolutely a testimony to that. And it's been made us stronger. It's made us more understanding of each other. Sometimes, as someone who gets things done down in enablement and tenacity, when I used to hear him wonder and invent, I was thinking he was giving me more to do. And it caused friction between us. But sometimes that's not what wonder and invention is doing. They're just thinking out loud. And so it's just helped us in many, many ways. So let me say, before we move into the second and the third benefit from Working Genius in your marriage, that we are going to offer you as being part of this webinar today, this benefit, we're going to offer you a Working Genius assessment for you and your spouse, as well as a private couple consult with me for $150. That's a 25% discount on what it normally costs. So this investment in your marriage, it's going to help you, and it's about what you'd spend on a babysitter and a really nice dinner, I think. So it's a good investment in your marriage, and you can schedule this by using the QR code that you see on the screen there. Um, Reach out to me via email or the website, the Langley Leadership Group website, if you want to. But using this QR code will help you. And I really look forward to working with you. Randall and I are doing this webinar today because we both believe in the power of Working Genius to help you in your marriage, and we've experienced it personally ourselves. So
Yes.
we want you to reach out and invest this in your marriage if you can at all. We'd
And
love to work with you.
and I should say we kind of wrestled a little bit with this because the assessment itself is $25. So for a couple,
Per
that's 50
person.
bucks.
Mhm.
So basically, we are giving you free assessments at this price. But as Lori said, really our heart is just to love and serve people.
That's right.
And we've received such amazing feedback from the couples that we've worked with that we're just putting it out there. not only for you, you might have friends, people that you know could really benefit from this. So you feel free to share this with them as well. But if you'll just mention the word webinar, that will be our cue to give you this special discount price just for tuning in and being a part of this webinar today. So um, that's our
Moving
gift to
in,
you.
moving into our second benefit is Working Genius will help you serve each other more effectively. Serve each other more effectively. It helps us stop judging and increases appreciation for the way our spouse is wired and the unique ways we each contribute. And I think if you've been married for any length of time, you know that we each contribute in unique ways. We're wired differently, and Working Genius will help you serve each other more effectively in that. I want to encourage you that your spouse is not weird. They're unique. I, I put that in my notes. They're not weird. They're just unique. Let's reframe that, right? A quote from me. Let me just read this quote. It says, "Some people thrive in spaces of invention and creativity, while others, like me, are energized by seeing those ideas come to life and ensuring they're executed well." Right? It's not about one being better than the other. It's about understanding where we fit and how we best contribute our gifts to others, how we best contribute our geniuses in this marriage. That's the idea about the benefit of serving each other more effectively. Working Genius will give you language. It will help you understand how you're different from your spouse. We know our geniuses, and when we know our geniuses and appreciate the geniuses of others, it's easier to stop comparing and start collaborating.
That's so good. Yeah.
Stop comparing and start collaborating. This is the powerful way to reframe maybe how we used to do serving each other, just this comparison game in marriage. But we want you to collaborate. Ideas get better, work moves faster, and couples feel more connected. And if you've heard me on any other webinars or um, any other platforms, the word connection is very, very vital to Randall and me both. Um, we want to help you feel more connected as a couple. Serving each other in our marriage will require effort. It requires effort. Can I get an amen?
Yeah.
But it does not have to drain us or be a drudgery. When we know our working geniuses and those of our spouse and lean into those geniuses whenever possible. So there are times when, we all have to do what we have to do, but whenever possible, if we can acknowledge and help our partner, our spouse, work in their working geniuses. Let me
Yeah,
give
and
you a
maybe
quote.
recently we've had that phrase, the fullness of oneness. We know
Mhm.
that in a marriage, the two of them shall become one. But the reality is, in many marriages, they're not acting like they're one. And so, this idea of connection, the better we are connected, the more we can experience the benefits of, and what I like that term, the fullness of
I think it's
oneness.
beautiful.
So, that
Yes.
adds to that as well.
Yes, Tim and Donna from South Carolina, they've been married 20 years. They gave us this response about how working genius helps them serve each other more effectively. That's the benefit we're talking about. They said, quote, "Through working genius, we've learned to intentionally design a workflow that completes us." Love that language. Projects often begin in the wonder phase, where vision is prayerfully explored and then carried all the way through to fruition by honoring each other's natural competencies. Ultimately, Working Genius has strengthened both our marriage and our mission. It helped us communicate more clearly, work more joyfully, and steward our calling with greater trust, clarity, and impact. That's the end of their quote.
So
I think
good.
it's fantastic.
Yep.
All right, thank you, Tim and Donna, for that. The third and final benefit that we're going to talk about in this webinar is Working Genius will help you grow together in unity. What we once felt like was resistance from our spouse can actually be reframed and perceived differently as a powerful way of showing love. I want to give you an example of that. Let's just say you have the genius of wonder, all right? And you have ideas or wonder and invention like Randall. We could just make you like Randall. You have wonder and you have invention and you have ideas and you go to the whiteboard and you throw up all these great ideas. And if your spouse has discernment, well, guess what? Their gift might feel like resistance to you. It might feel like man, she's just a dream killer, or he's not on board, he doesn't have my back, or in other words, once you understand that the discernment genius, this is what they do to help the product and the process of work make sense in the end. Before we get down to the galvanizer and the enablement and the tenacity genius to get the work done, discernment helps it go back and forth a little bit between invention and discernment until it's the right thing. And then when we've done our best to make sure we have a good plan, we have a workable plan, we have a plan that has a high percentage chance of working, then we move forward. So, Working Genius will help you grow together in unity. There's two couples, and I'll say these quickly, but the first couple that gave me a response on growing together in unity, they've been married 4 years. Sweet. Jonathan and April from California. They have they both have wonder, and then she has an tenacity and he has invention. So they differ a little in their geniuses, and through Working Genius they are finding it's actually fun to wonder together and have great conversations around ideas and plans. That's what it would look like when both spouses have wonder at the top. But then Jonathan says, Working Genius has given me a significant amount of insight into how my marriage works, most often explaining why things happened a certain way. My wife has tenacity as a genius, and I have it as a frustration, which often is incredibly advantageous. So, for this young couple to know, for this husband to know how he's different from his spouse, what that looks like, and why, very helpful. And I want to tell you
Yes.
that April added, it's great that Jonathan has one of my frustrations. Not saying I don't have to work on it, but he teaches me in the process. So thank you to Jonathan and April for that input. They're finding Working Genius is helping them grow together in unity. And at 4 years in, it's incredible. And lastly, one more couple, Jason and Jesse from Florida, shared this. Working Genius has given Jason and I a shared language for understanding how we're wired and why we show up the way we do, both in our marriage and in our work. Instead of frustrating each other, we now recognize how our differences are complementary. It's helped us communicate with more grace, appreciate each other's strengths, and work together with greater unity and purpose, both as a family and as partners. I think that's powerful.
Yes.
Jason and Jesse, thank you for this input. I think that is very illustrative of how Working Genius will help you grow together in unity. And when we can steward each other, steward our marriage, steward the gift that we have in each other better than we have in the past, that can only be a good thing. And that is part of what Working Genius gives us. It gives us language and a framework in order to steward each other better. Um, and I think we're going to move into some question and answer time. So I forgot to mention that. I think you did too, Randall. But if you have any Q&A, put it in the chat right now, and Donna is going to read those out for us to address here in just a minute. But Working Genius has been around for about 5 years now, just at the 5 year mark. Over 1.5 million people have taken this assessment. Most of those are adults, but we do have a student assessment now for students between 14 and 20 to take the assessment and have the same type of experience where they kind of know how they're wired, how they're gifted. For college, high school, and or early college students, it's so good for them to know what direction maybe to go in, where they would thrive once they get into the workplace. So, Working Genius is helping people worldwide. It's actually all over the world now. And I would love to work with you and your spouse and see how Working Genius can help you. So let's look if there's any questions that we could address. Donna, are there any that we have?
No, I don't see any as of current.
All right. Well, that's okay. You can reach out via the information that was just on the screen there. And with that, I want to thank you again for being a part of this. I'm going to throw it back to Dr. Langley. Thank you so much for your interest, for sharing the word about Working Genius, and we look forward to what the future has, and hopefully we can engage with you soon.
Yes. All right. Good job, babe. You did a wonderful job there. I know that people will um, get a lot just from listening to this podcast. Hopefully that will be a blessing to you. But we really want you to take the next step. Connect with us. There it is again, the QR code. You can also go to langleyleadershipgroup.com and access really all of the resources that we've made available. Sign up for our newsletter. We put out free information and a blog post that will help you in many ways if you run a business or an organization. If you are interested in growing and developing in your leadership skills, we just put it all out there and are hoping that you'll connect with us. So again, thanks for joining us today. Hope this added value to your life. And we will look forward to the next time where we bring you a webinar that also helps you maximize what God's called you to do individually, company-wide, as a marriage, with your family, whatever it is. So God bless, friends. Thank you for joining. We'll talk to you later. Bye now.